Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome here as we get set for the 30th race of the season, Season 3 of the NNSCRA Duracell Cup Series, playoff race number 4, and race 1 of the second round of the Chase for the Championship, as we are in the round of 12. Last week was the first elimination race where we cut it down from 16 playoff contenders to the 12 that come into this second round of the playoffs. And 4 drivers, their playoff hopes come to an early end. They include a couple of drivers that made the playoffs for the first time in their career, Matt Haas in the 8 and rookie N Hudson in the 24. And then also both of the Bulldog Motorsports Dodges, maybe one of the biggest shocks here of the season. 2 drivers that were in the Final Four last year are out after the first round of the playoffs. Zach Rogers in the 6 and Ryan Brommer in the 9. Brommer, who was last year's runner-up in the championship standings. And as a matter of fact, at least back-to-back seasons. I'm trying to remember back to season 1 if both drivers made it into the playoffs. And I want to say it was all 3 seasons that the Bulldog Motorsports cars have made it into the postseason. But, boy, tough break for that team overall. Both drivers out of the championship hunt after only 3 races. But we get set to go racing here today at Hillside to begin off the round of 12. And it's the first 2 rows, all non-playoff contenders. M Saatchi, who finished runner-up last week at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, a former winner of the season at Dover, lines up on the pole position. Alongside of him is going to be C Sandfer. Both of these drivers on the front row looking for their second wins on the season. We mentioned Dover was where M Saatchi got his win this season. C Sandfer had his win at ISM. Ryan Brommer recently eliminated from the playoffs, now just going to try and go out there and win as many races as he can to finish out the season. He is going to roll off from 3rd. Alongside of him is going to be Ryan Butcher, who was the pole sitter last week at Indy and now has the most poles so far this season with 4. Then row 3 is where we find our championship competitors that are up towards the front, Levi McIntire and K Batson, a couple of Ford Mustangs. Now, we should mention the entire 12 drivers that moved into this second round are all tied up with 1,500 points apiece. Only one driver, K Friesen, made his way into the round of 12 with a win. That was, of course, back at Richmond. All the other 11 competitors made it in through points. Let's go down trackside, get those most famous words in motorsports as we get ready to go racing at Hillside.
Drivers, start your engines!
And as the command is given and the cars roll off, it will be 60 laps of racing here today at the Hillside Raceway, a track that pretty much tends to have green flag racing, but at the same time, it's not all that easy to hold on to the race leads, so expect a lot of passing to go on during the course of this race, and who knows, maybe we'll see this race come down to fuel strategy. I don't really, off the top of my head, remember just how much of a fuel strategy race we've had in the past. Hillside's been on the schedule since Season 1, and actually been in the playoffs since Season 1 as well, has definitely played its own factor into the postseason. Pace car peels off, and we're ready to go. A couple of Chevy Camaros get us underway. Green flags out. Let's roll at Hillside. Of course, back in the first round, same rules apply in the second round. If any of our 12 remaining playoff contenders take a checkered flag here today, they are moving on to the round of 8, the Elite 8, in about 3 weeks' time. As Levi McIntire making some strides on the inside, going to go by C Sandfer for 3rd, now looks to the inside of Ryan Brommer for 2nd place. Jack Mitchell working his way up there as well on the inside, the regular season champion now up to 4th. As Zach Rogers gets to the inside of Levi McIntire, the battle right now is for that 2nd position. That's allowing M Saatchi to have about a car length and a half lead. Not really much of a challenge right now for the top position as Rogers clears for 2nd. Mitchell moves to 3rd. Now Patrick Smith's going to take a look down low and, may have forced his way in there. Might have been a little contact between those two, the 77 and the 01, as Smith will move to 3rd. Brock now going to follow in line to 4th. Entire top 5 non-playoff contenders. You got to go back to 6th. That's where you find K Friesen, who of course started out the first race of the first round with a W, so he went the entire round 1, knowing he was going to be into the round of 12. He'd love to be able to do it again here in the round of 12 and guarantee a spot in the round of 8. He's got K Llamas, another playoff contender, right behind him as battle is on for the lead. Rookie Patrick Smith looks to the inside of M Saatchi. Smith looking still for his first win on the season, and he's also trying to kind of shake away A Kolano, who has cut down his points lead for the rookie point standings. Kolano and Smith come into this race tied for the points lead, but Smith will not be leading this next lap. It's going to look like it's going to be K Friesen in the 37 who's going to get himself a very valuable bonus point. J Wright now going to move into second place. J Millz, who barely made his way into the round of 12 last week at Indy, right now working his way towards the top 5 side by side with K Llamas for the 5th position, riding in the tire tracks of another Mustang. That's Mitchell Collins in the 22. Now he'll go to the inside of Collins for the 4th position. Cole Baker now up to 3rd, was looking to the inside of J Wright for 2nd, couldn't quite get the run. Trey's going to make a move on K Friesen, couldn't quite get his nose there to the inside. Friesen didn't leave him enough room. So J Wright's going to have to try again. Trey is the only driver out of Blue Oval Automotive so far this season that does not have a win. Millz has won twice, Lopez has a win, and McIntyre has a win. And this time, J Wright's going to get K Friesen moved out of the way. He's going to go for the lead, and his teammate J Millz is going to follow right in his tire tracks. J Thibodeaux there in the 33. Two-time winner this season as a rookie. Now working his way up to the front. Jesse Turner there in the 47. And you got Charles Belding in the 91 as well. A lot of drivers up here that I could point out that have had good finishes and been so close to wins this season but haven't been able to close the deal. Belding would be one of those drivers. Jesse Turner, of course, winning the regular season finale at Auto Club, trying to look for his 2nd win on the year, even though he didn't make it into the playoffs. So we know there's a lot of drivers up here that had the lithium blue banners. J Millz, Levi McIntyre, K Friesen, we know we're up here. But what about some of the drivers towards the rear of the field? There's one of them running dead last, Dylan Young, 3-time winner in the 40th position right now. Still with the lead group, but I don't know, the laps kind of tick away pretty quick here at Hillside. I don't know if you want to be riding at the back. James Qualls and A LaPlante are also back here, and there's the guy that started on the outside of the front row, Charles Sandfer, stuck up on the top side 3 wide. He's now drifted back outside the top 30. Also in that 3 wide situation, 2-time winner, back-to-back wins for Michael Norman in the past 2 weeks, winning at the Charlotte Roval and kind of lucking into a win last week at Indianapolis Motor Speedway when J Thibodeaux could not make it on fuel. Jack Mitchell has now fallen back into this area as well, towards the rear of the field, as he's stuck on the top side 3 wide. K Llamas was also stuck on the top side, and he's faded back now to around the 30th position. So kind of consider this like a little super speedway in a way, as you got J Millz now stuck up on the outside 3 wide. As you get kicked up to that 3rd groove, and you're going to go to the back very, very quickly. Meanwhile, up front, 3 wide for the lead. K Mathews, Jordan Lopez, and Adam Garcia. There's 3 names we haven't talked about yet today. And they were 3 wide for the top spot. K Mathews wins out on that, but will he lead the lap over Mitchell Collins? Going to be close. Collins got it by about a splitter. K Mathews, of course, could have maybe won last week at Indianapolis, but got wrecked, bringing out the final caution of the day there. However, just to kind of quell any doubts of whether Mathews would have won that race or not, the fact that J Thibodeaux under pacing could not make it to the checker flag without running out of fuel, I'm pretty certain K Mathews also would not have made it to the start-finish line without running out of fuel, but still, he was in position for a chance at winning the race, so we'll see if he and the 33 get anywhere in close proximity to each other, how they race with each other, because I don't think K Mathews is very happy with Thibodeaux after the events that took place last week, as Jessica Shelton gets a lap led there in the Hershey's Cookies and Cream Chevrolet. Nathan Hudson moves to the inside. Now he'll go to the point, followed by Johnny Gardner, and Gardner may try and make a move for the lead here. He will. Could be another drag race to the start-finish line between the 14 and the 24. 14 actually edges ahead out of turn 4 and will get the lap led. First time Carson Gum has worked his way up into the top 10. He's now into the 3rd spot. Benny Watson right there behind him in the 75. Carson Gum was the highest in the point standings in round 1, so he had the most consistent first round, and that was a good battle right there to the line. It was Carson Gum who got it over Watson, they're saying, and Thibodeaux. As Watson now goes to the point, Matt Haas, who got eliminated from the playoffs last week at Indy, now to his inside for the race lead. Being followed by Wyatt Quayle, Phil Parker. Remember, we saw Austin LaPlante near the rear of the field. Look how quickly he worked his way up here to the front, now up into the 4th position. So J Millz outside 3 wide, dropping to the back. He's now working his way back up on the inside line. 6th car on the bottom of the racetrack. Phil Parker, a couple of rookies. N Ormond, they're going to battle for the race lead. Parker's going to get the lap lead. We're a third of the way through this race so far, clean and green. And if I remember correctly, they did make green flag pit stops last season, so that'll be interesting to watch if we end up having this go long enough for them to have to hit pit road. Because this is a very strange pit road, and if I recall correctly, we had a couple of wrecks take place last season based off of pit road. Because you see right there, that dotted white line down that inside, that is both the merge point coming out of turn 2 coming off pit road and the commitment area to come to pit road. And if I recall correctly, I might be thinking of a different track, but it seems like I remember last year we ended up having green flag pit stops, and there was a caution that came out with one driver coming to pit road, one driver leaving pit road. They kind of intersected each other and got involved in a wreck that brought out a late yellow flag. So be interesting to see if something like that happens again here this season. J Millz is going to get a bonus point lap lead. Not many of our playoff contenders have gotten here to the front to get that lap lead bonus point. As K Mathews rides in 2nd, 3rd place is Matt Haas. R Brommer, who started from the 3rd position, has now worked his way back up to the top 5, and another playoff contender we haven't talked about today now up in the top 10, the 42 of V Almariego. Following in the tire tracks of another playoff contender, K Llamas in the 84. He's trying to make it 3 in a row for Michael Norman Motorsports as far as wins are concerned. Norman with back-to-back victories. K Batson was the 2nd highest qualifier. Started from the 6th position. He's now working his way back into the top 10 along with Jack Mitchell. And there's our pole sitter behind him, M Saatchi. And look at them all the way through this field, 3 wide. They're 3 wide up here between Parker, Almariego, and Haas. Go a little bit further back and you find them 3 wide in this group. Charles Sanford, R Brommer, R Acosta, N Macklin, Patrick Smith. I mean, they are racing double wide and 3 wide all the way through this field. That's why we love this track of Hillside. Because it's not just fun battling up at the front, it's fun battling all the way through the field, all the way to the very back. Playoff contenders for the lead. J Millz has the spot. K Llamas wants it. Couldn't quite get to the inside that time. All of a sudden, you got your playoff contenders up here towards the front. We got about 6 of them up inside of the top 10. J Millz, K Llamas, Jack Mitchell, K Batson, and Carter Friesen all right now upside the top 10. Actually make that another one as V Almariego is also in the top 10 in the 42. So 6 of them in the top 10. So far here in the playoffs, only one playoff contender has won a race. That was Friesen back at Richmond. And then non-playoff driver Michael Norman has won the next 2. And just like that, 1, 2, 3 for those lithium blue spoilers. With Millz, Llamas, and Batson. Batson now to the inside of K Llamas for a position. K Batson winning earlier on this year at the road course of Watkins Glen. Has never had a multi-win season. And he's trying to get by one of the best in the business. The driver with the most Duracell Cup Series wins in his career, that being J Millz in the 98. R Saatchi had the speed to put his car on the pole, trying to show off that speed now in race. Works by K Batson for 2nd place, and we'll see if he's going to be the guy to take and wrestle the lead away from the 98. William Brock moving into the 3rd position, highest in the standings without being a playoff contender, 17th in points. There's still 3 wide back here. That's K Batson getting put way up to the outside. Ooh, he may have checked up Carter Friesen and Vince Almariego. I thought the two of them might get together off that corner, but fortunately they did not. And the battle for the lead is on. M Saatchi to the inside of J Millz. Looks to get the run here off of turn 2. Not quite clear just yet. We'll see if he can clear him coming off of turn 4, as we almost had contact back there between teammates. But N Ormond was trying to block R Acosta and almost went off the nose of his teammate's front bumper. Saatchi got that lap led. He's not clear quite yet on J Millz, however. And looks like maybe he'll forge ahead here out of turn 4. Yes, he will. R Acosta, the defending champion, now going to try and move into second place. And now has thoughts for the lead, as Saatchi couldn't close the door down there into turn 1 quickly enough. Acosta is going to go to the lead. R Acosta riding a long winless streak. As of right now, his winless streak would be, including today's race, if we were to include today's race, it would be 44 races. So 43 races coming into today would be his winless streak, and he would love to snap it. That goes all the way back to Martinsville last year, which was the win that got him into the playoffs, which eventually led to him winning the championship. Carter Friesen now moving by K Mathews for second. How about Adam Garcia? He's the only guy left, the only driver left that has run every single Duracell Cup Series race that has not gotten a victory. He's up here, and Michael Norman's looking for 3 in a row. All of a sudden, he's in the top 5 in the 4th position. It's going to be 20 laps to... Are we under caution? I think we're under caution. We are. First caution of the day with about 21 laps to go, and we had a wreck over here in turn 3. And so the potentiality of green flag pit stops, that's out the window. Everybody's going to be able to pit now and be able to make it the rest of the way, and someone's done. There's black smoke lingering out of 4. Question is, was it a playoff contender? Everybody's coming to pit lane, so let's find out who it was, and it was Phil Parker in the 74. That is a non-playoff driver. But there was a playoff driver involved, Austin LaPlante, who looks like he may have gone up and over. A lot of roof damage on the top of that Ally Banking Chevrolet. And that is a playoff driver. We got more drivers that were involved. Mitchell Collins in the 22, N Ormond in the 41 are on pit road as well. Jessica Shelton got involved, it looks like, as well as Patrick Smith, and another playoff contender in Jack Mitchell. Ryan Butcher was also involved, and it's hard to tell behind the ambulance there, but I think Levi McIntyre, another playoff contender, may have damage. Battle off of pit road. Looks like it may have been won by the 37. No, it was won by the 10 of R Acosta. So he's going to be the leader when we go back green. I want to get a better angle here. I think Benny Watson may have been involved in the wreck as well. He's got an extended stay on pit road. And Levi McIntyre has taken his car behind the wall already. So he was involved in the wreck. That's 3 playoff contenders involved in that wreck. McIntyre, LaPlante, and Mitchell, who are all going to find themselves a little bit behind the 8 ball heading into next week at Lime Rock. Let's go back and take a look at a replay. Must have happened around this area here, because we know that Collins and Parker and Ormond, that they all got involved, and this was almost 4 wide coming off of the corner. And looks like Cole Baker may have turned Mitchell Collins into Charles Sandfer, and then a lot of these guys go down through the infield grass. Back up the track comes Parker. He's going to get the 41 of N Ormond. Charles Sandfer slides up the track, and then the track is blocked, and there's nowhere for these guys to go. Jacob Thibodeaux was in it, T Wright, Benny Watson, Jessica Shelton. K Batson got a piece of it. Austin LaPlante up and over. Jessica Shelton up and over. Jesse Turner was involved. Patrick Smith was involved. Cole Deaver may have gotten a piece. And just look at how the cars come to rest there. Shelton up on her side. LaPlante up on his side. Shelton's propped up against N Ormond. LaPlante's propped up against Benny Watson and T Wright. And this wasn't all that happened. We're going to actually rewind it back here too, because while Sandfer and Parker went through the grass, they were still wrecking up there at the top of the track. I think with Levi McIntire was the start of that one. You watch right here, Collins is going to get into Matthew Rodriguez, then Levi McIntire gets involved. There's nowhere for William Brock to go. He gets sandwiched up there. Patrick Smith gets initial contact there. Ryan Butcher's held up back there, and this is where Jack Mitchell comes into play as he goes head-on into Levi McIntire's 99. I think Vince Almariego may have been able to squeak through. Oh, and there's where Charles Sandfer got clobbered by Ryan Butcher. And I want to go up here to the 48 of Austin LaPlante because I want to see how his car flipped over. Oh, looks like he was down there on that transition between the banking of the track and the apron. See right there, Shelton gets into Thibodeaux. And then when Watson snaps around, LaPlante snaps around as well, and somehow the weight distribution goes all the way over to the right side of the car and flips it upside down. That's how he got that roof damage. You look at that 2 car of Dylan Young, who ran at the back for most of this race. I don't think he got much damage. He may have had a little contact there on the right rear from Patrick Smith, but I think he was able to slow that car down quickly enough to not get any damage. But boy, that was a multi-car wreck to be sure. Starting over in the middle of the back straightaway, leading over into turn 3. And 3, at least, of our playoff contenders involved in this wreck and could very well be out of this race. Well, we're still waiting on the pace car to give us the 1 to green signal. Ryan Acosta is going to be the leader when we go back green over Carter Friesen, Matt Haas, Adam Garcia, and Marcus Saatchi. Rest of the top 10 currently scored are Kyle Mathews, Michael Norman, Cody Llamas, Jose Millz, and James Qualls for the first time today up inside of the top 10. That's 4 playoff contenders right now inside of the top 10 in the standings. Let's find out where the rest of our playoff drivers are going to be. Actually, no, James Qualls is not in the top 10. Looks like he made a pit stop in the 54, so actually 10th place is going to be Keith Batson. Jordan Lopez will be in 11th. As you got some drivers there, they're going to be a lap down on this restart. Carson Gum right now, the 19 is in 19th. Vince Almariego in 24th. Dylan Young in 26th. And James Qualls, no damage or anything, but I think they just came to pit road to top off the fuel tank. I don't know why, but he's going to restart in the 29th position. Last car on the lead lap, it looks like. There's Patrick Smith. He's a lap down in 33rd. Mitchell Collins, Benny Watson, and Nathan Ormond all are off the lead lap as well. And drivers out of the race after the incident. We've now had another driver retire, so it's Jacob Thibodeaux, Phil Parker, Austin LaPlante, Jessica Shelton, Jack Mitchell, Levi McIntire, and Ryan Butcher all out of the race. So LaPlante, Mitchell, and McIntire, boy, those drivers, they're going to find themselves in the danger zone going into Lime Rock next week. Green flag set to come back out with 18 laps to go. Ryan Acosta gets us back underway. And boy, a lot of drivers were really slow there, and Patrick Smith, I don't think, never even lifted as he was trying to catch up to the rest of the field. Look at that car, all crunched up on the front. Somehow he's still out there on the track. Battle for the lead is on between Acosta and Friesen for the top spot. And Friesen's going to take it. Patrick Smith looks like he may have gotten black flagged. He's coming to pit road in that 77 as teammates battle for what would be right now the 5th position, I believe, between Michael Norman and Cody Llamas. Make that 6th, actually. Kyle Mathews must have gotten involved in that wreck somehow, and I didn't really notice that. He's got some right side damage, but still soldiering on in the 5th spot. Battle for 3rd between Marcus Saatchi and Matt Haas. That was a quick battle. Saatchi takes the position as Ryan Acosta looks to try and make his way around Carter Friesen for the race lead. It'll be 15 laps to go this time by. Michael Norman, teammate Cody Llamas. They got Aaron Macklin, the rookie, back there as well. That's 6th, 7th, and 8th, trying to go by Kyle Mathews. And a couple of the Blue Oval Automotive cars up here now. Jordan Lopez in 9th, Jose Millz in 10th, trying to get good runs here today after some drivers have found some hard luck at Hillside. Give themselves a little bit of breathing space going into the road course race next week. Lead change, M Saatchi back to the point, but he's got a Toyota to his inside. That's M Haas in the 8, and Michael Norman looking for 3 in a row right now in that 3rd position. M Haas is going to take the spot away, but not for long. Norman sticks his nose to the inside. Aaron Macklin trying to become the 4th rookie to go to victory lane this season, joining Jacob Thibodeaux, Nathan Hudson, and Nathan Ormond. Ooh, slow car. That's Charles Sandfer. And he's going to hold the whole outside line up. That's going to put Macklin to the lead. Look at the Fords charge to the front 1, 2, 3. Macklin, Lopes, and J Millz. Cody Llamas going to move up to 4th place. That's 3 playoff contenders, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th right now. Michael Norman finally going to get to the inside of Sandfer, but we got the playoff contender K Friesen stuck up on that outside line. And we saw James Qualls hit pit lane there. He's now worked his way up to the 18th position, got the freshest tires. I don't know if he's got enough time to work his way up to the race lead, but we'll see. Another slow car they're having to deal with. That's Mitchell Collins on the 22, another lap machine. This track's only about a mile in length, so it doesn't take them long to catch lap traffic, as J Millz now goes to the point. Cody Llamas moves into 2nd. Ryan Acosta back up there to 3rd. Nathan Hudson there in 4th. And V Almariego up to the 5th position. And now Cody Llamas looking for the lead. Cody Llamas won at the dirt track of Fuel Motorsports Park earlier on this season. Last year was a 2-time winner, winning back-to-back races at Richmond and Pocono in his rookie season. So he has had a multi-win year. He's trying to have back-to-back multi-win seasons now. Right behind him, the defending champ, Ryan Acosta, has moved into 2nd place. 8 laps to go here at Hillside, and I think we're not done with slower traffic as well. There's going to be a couple of other cars I think they may catch before this race is over. K Batson right now in the 31st position. Is he a lap down? Yes, he is. I don't know what happened to him, but right now he is -1. Actually, M Haas has got damage in the 8 car, and he was on the lead lap. We might have, I think we've had a wreck. Yes, we have. Caution's out. And it's more drivers over in the turn 3 area. That was William Brock, Dylan Young, Mitchell Collins as well, and I couldn't tell who the other one was. James Qualls has got damage as well in the 54. But there's another driver, might have been Cole Deaver or Aaron Macklin that I saw. Charles Belding's involved. T Wright was the other car that I saw there, stuck on the apron. And the pole sitter M Saatchi was in it also. R Brommer was in it. Benny Watson was involved. Damage on Cole Baker. Carson Gum was involved. Boy, when I said Hillside was going to play a factor into the outcome of this race as well as the playoffs, I didn't think it was going to play this much of a factor. 2 cautions today, and both of them have been big wrecks. As Cody Llamas is going to be the leader here, and we will get back green. That caution came out with about 6 laps to go. We will get the green flag before this race is over to finish this thing out. But let's go back and see what happened. Even more playoff contenders involved in a wreck here today in this 2nd caution of the day. I first want to go back to this. This did not bring out the caution. M Haas trying to get to the inside of the lap machine of Charles Sandfer, and he got some help from behind by K Friesen. There you see, that's where he got his rear end damage as he backed it into the inside wall. Pretty significant hit there to the left side as well. But the car did not come back up past that yellow line, so they did not throw the yellow. That was back towards the rear of the field as well. So no caution came out for that. Now let's see what the caution actually did come out for. Want you to watch the left side of your screen. Jordan Lopez going to get into the left rear quarter panel of Nathan Hudson, sends him down into J Millz, and then the track's just going to get blocked up. Hudson comes up and collects Aaron Macklin and Cole Deaver. J Gardner got clipped in that as well. Charles Belding nowhere to go. Here comes the 54 of James Qualls trying to find a hole. Could not get it. Carson Gum runs into the back of his teammate Cole Baker and sends him into the wreck. Matthew Rodriguez got a piece of it as well. And then all these guys trying to get on the brakes and they just can't. M Saatchi clobbers Cole Deaver. K Mathews got into Saatchi. Kolano got a piece. And then Deaver goes up and over the roof of Dylan Young. Benny Watson runs into the back of James Qualls as well. And then Deaver up and over the roof of Dylan Young yet again. This time down on the apron. And there were more drivers back here that got involved too. Mitchell Collins and T Wright. We'll see what happened to them as they were back behind this. And they just never really slowed down. They were still going about 120 miles per hour. Collins sideswipes James Qualls. T Wright runs into the back of Dylan Young. And then William Brock gets into the back of the 28. Little contact there from Charles Sandfer. Sends the 88 up and over under its roof. Nobody's slowing down here for these wrecks, and I think that's a big reason why these wrecks have been so humongous. But that's even more playoff contenders with damage. James Qualls, Dylan Young, J Millz involved in that. I mean, this is definitely, no doubt about it, going to put a lot of drivers in a pretty sticky situation going into Lime Rock. Dylan Young there, a lot of damage on his machine. And we know Carson Gum got a piece of that as well in the 19s. So at least 4 more playoff contenders collected up in this one. It's going to be about 4 drivers that are going to be very lucky if they leave here with a decent finish, because they were not involved in wrecks so far here today. Oh, I just noticed right there too, before we left, J Millz ran to the back of Nathan Hudson. So he got more front-end damage even there. We're still under caution. They were having to get Ryan Brommer's car off track. It was stuck between the transition of the apron and the banking. So they had to bring out a truck to push the 9 car back to pit road. I want to clarify as well about Keith Batson. He did fall a lap down under green flag conditions. On that last green flag run, Keith Batson made an unscheduled stop on lap 44, so that is how he lost a lap. Green flag is going to come back out as the lights are out atop the pace car. We will go green with a total of 3 laps to go. Cody Llamas, playoff contender, leads the way. Playoff contender Vince Almariego second. Then it's Ryan Acosta third. Playoff contender Jordan Lopez in fourth. 5th place is Adam Garcia. 6th is Nathan Hudson. Playoff contender J Millz 7th. And then the rest of the top 10 are Jesse Turner, Zach Rogers, and Cole Baker. Right now, the only other playoff contenders on the lead lap: 14th Carter Friesen, 16th Carson Gum. And then all the rest of the playoff contenders are out of the race. Matthew Rodriguez, Austin Kolano, James Qualls, a playoff contender in 25th. Cole Deaver, another playoff contender in Dylan Young in 27th. T Wright, M Saatchi, William Brock, Mitchell Collins, all out after this one. So Keith Batson is still on the track, 1 lap down as the green flag came out. Cody Llamas trying to get away and pick up win number 2 on the season. Vince Almariego right behind him, though. It's got playoff contenders 1, 2, 3 right now, with Llamas, Almariego, and Lopez. A Toyota, a Chevy, and a Ford with 2 laps to go. This is going to be a very interesting battle, too, because these 3 drivers know a win means they're into the round of the Elite 8. Llamas trying to make his car as wide as he can, trying to block any advance Almariego may have. Almariego got him a little loose, but had to lift as the white flag is in the air. 1 to go. Vince Almariego trying to close up the gap. He's got to make a move here on this corner. Lopez looks low on the 42. Cody drives it down deep. Cody Llamas going to block both lanes. He'll get his 4th career win, 2nd of the season. Cody Llamas wins at Hillside. And Llamas will be moving on to the round of 8 with his checkered flag today at the Hillside Raceway. 2nd of the season. 1st this season at a non-dirt track. And now he can head into Lime Rock and Arizona Speedway worry-free. He knows he will be moving on to the next round of the playoffs. And it is the 3rd win in a row for the Michael Norman Motorsports stable. And usually, we end up having quite a clump of playoff contenders in the first race of a round finish up in the front of the field, and we had a total of 4 of them in the top 6, 3 of them in the top 3. Cody Llamas with the win, Jordan Lopez in second, Vince Almariego there in third. So all 3 of them, obviously with Llamas with the win, he's locked into the next round, but this is going to give Lopez and Almariego a nice points cushion, as a lot of the other competitors had issues today. Adam Garcia's going to finish in 4th, Zach Rogers there in 5th after getting eliminated from the playoffs last week. A good performance for the 6 car. J Millz, another playoff contender, with a great run there in 6th after he got spun on that last caution. Jesse Turner brings it home 7th. Ryan Acosta in 8th. 9th was N Hudson, and Michael Norman will complete the top 10. Then you had playoff contender Carter Friesen there in 11th. He'll at least still have a good points day, as will Carson Gum, who finished on the lead lap in 15th place. And then you look on down through the remainder of the finishing results, and where are all the rest of the playoff contenders? All outside of the top 20. Keith Batson was the next highest finisher in 23rd. Then everybody else for our playoff contenders finished out of the race after 2 big wrecks with our 2 cautions during the course of this race. 26th is where James Qualls finished. 28th for Dylan Young. Got to go a long ways down before you find Austin LaPlante in 36th. Jack Mitchell in 38th. And Levi McIntyre in 39th. As of right now, it would be Young, LaPlante, Mitchell, and McIntyre who will find themselves in the danger zone areas heading into next week at the road course of Lime Rock. But Cody Llamas knows he will be moving on to the round of 8, taking the checkered flag today at the Hillside Raceway. Hope you guys enjoyed today's race. Boy, crazy one, no doubt about that. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give us a like, subscribe, become part of the crew today. We have shown you full page results. These are what your point standings and your updated playoff points look like heading into next week. We're going to have the twists and turns in Connecticut. The road course of Lime Rock Raceway is going to play host to the race that pretty much is going to set us up for our scenario going into the following week, our second elimination race, where we will whittle it down from 12 to 8 drivers at Arizona Speedway. But until then, I've been Seth Cole. You've been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.